Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. My name is Eccentric Waffle, and today I'm going to be ranking every single operator in Rainbow Six Siege. Now to start off, we have Deimos. He is the best roam clearer in the game. In the short time he is in every game in the test server, obviously. His new pistol is a beast. I would not be surprised if it gets nerfed. And he has the ACOG, obviously, so he is going to be going bottom of S tier probably. Next up we have Tubarão. Now after his recent nerf where he lost one of his Zoto canisters, he is still very good. He still has his DMR, which is a beast on defense. So he is going to be going in high B, actually low A for the moment. Ram, R4C, ACOG, flashes, what more do I need to say? Probably the perfect entry fragger. Only problem is her 3 armor and 1 speed. She's very loud. Other than that, I'm gonna go bottom of A above Tubarão. Now, Fenrir, MP7 on defense, best trapper in the game. So it's pretty clear why he's getting nerfed soon, so he is going to be going in S tier. Brava, probably the second most underrated operator in the game. She can counter almost every defender here. She can counter anybody up here apart from Ram and Deimos because wait, I don't know what I'm saying. But she is probably a high B. She has the ACOG as well now. So I would not be surprised if we get into another utility meta. She is going to be picked all the time. Solus, very clear. High S, best roamer in the game. She is also getting nerfed, which is very clear why. She has the P90, which is insane. And yeah, Grim, another incredibly underrated operator. He can get so much map control. He can support a plant. He can even entry with his commando because that's one of the best guns in the game. So I am going to put him high C. High C I think is fair for him. Azami, actually, what more do I need to say? She has the slug shotgun and Capcan's SMG. I always forget the name of it. She can even after her nerf, she is still S. Now before her nerf, she would have been top of S, but not anymore. She can completely change the way the attack tries to attack places like Clubhouse on Rafters and completely determine what operators they pick, like Ash and Zofia. Next up, we have Sense. Useless. Not a single part in the entire game in any site where she has a use. What more do I need to say? Thorn. I'm going to put her low B, just below Brava. Now, there are many reasons for this. Her gun is good. She used to have the ACOG. If she had the ACOG, I'll probably put her in A. Her trap is useless. You can't play off them because of the long deployment time. But she does have the Uzi on defense, which is very good. And she's Irish. Now, next, Osa. I'm going to put Osa in high B, just for the fact that she is a good counterpart to Thermite, where she can work the breach with him on, say, Canal, Clubhouse, on Basement, on Chalet. She recently got frags as well in Year 8 Season 3. Or no, Season 4, sorry. So, that's another reason. Thunderbird. Her gun is not the best. Her utility doesn't bring a lot to the team. She only heals for a tiny bit each round, and they take ages to recharge. So Thunderbird is pretty useless. Flores, I'm gonna put him mid B. I think that's fair. He is a good utility clearer. He has a decent gun on attack, which to be a good attacking operator, you need to have a good gun. So Flores fills that role. And yeah, he is all around a good operator, but does have some counters like mute. Aruni, A, clear A. DMR on defense is insane. I'm not sure if she got the ACOG, I think she did. She can burn so much utility with her traps, it's infinite utility burn. All you need to do is shoot them after a while. She has the P10 Roni, but I wouldn't suggest using that on her. The DMR is just way too good. And she can set up sight on her own with her passive ability being her fist. And so yeah, it's pretty clear for me. Zero, I'm gonna put him bottom of A. I think that's fair. His gun is very good. He's probably one of the best solo queue operators. I don't have him personally. He has 4 cameras, which is lots of intel. He has hard breach charges. He has the ACOG, and is all around a very good solo queue operator. Malusi. Now, if this tier list was 2 weeks ago, she would have been D. But now I'm gonna put her probably below Brava, above Thorn. Because she got the ACOG, she is now not useless anymore. She is one of the few defenders with ACOG. And her traps, if they get a bit of a buff, maybe a bit of a tweak, say they slow you down more, but then don't move your hearing more, that might be an idea. But yes, so she's not that bad anymore. Ace, probably the top 3 attacker in the game. I'm gonna put him there. Which is pretty clear. He's the best hard breacher. I watch a lot of Pro League, and he was picked most of the time alongside Buck. So that's pretty clear. AK-12, best gun. ACOG, everything you need. Oryx, I'm gonna put him high D. I like Oryx. He has a good SMG, good gun. He just doesn't bring a lot of utility. He has the bailiff, so on certain maps like Cafe, say you're defending floor 1, he is an absolute menace to clear out because he can just hop hatches, go between floors very easily with his bailiff. So that's why he's on D. If Cafe didn't exist, probably he would be F. Probably high F. Now, Ayana, we all know the Ayana reign in Year 8 season, what was it, 1? Where she was just an absolute menace with her frag grenades. So, and she still is. She has the G36C, which is a good gun on attack. She has infinite drones and has flashes as well. So a good operator overall, so I'm going to put her in A. Well, he has the ACOG, and he is just a better Jaeger all around. So I'm going to put him probably low A above Ayana, just for the fact that his gun is really good and he has the ACOG. Callie, bottom of D. She is a decent Thatcher alternative. She does destroy the gadgets, but it's kind of a low radius. And a sniper in a one-shot headshot game where the time to kill, even if you don't headshot someone, is minimal. She's useless. And the sniper doesn't even one-shot sometimes. Goyo, he is one of the best defenders in Pro League at the moment. He can just waste so much time. After the TDM meta, because they are removing the 1.5, if we go into utility meta, he probably would be S. But for now, I'm going to put him in low A. I think that is a fair rating for him, based off his Vector, which is a good gun, and the amount of time he can waste with all of his canisters. Amaru, I'm probably going to put high C. Now, she's very situational, never a good idea on 4-4 overtime match point, but she has a very good LMG, ACOG, but she doesn't have a lot of utility, so that's why I'm bringing her down a bit. Warden, probably low C, main counter to Ying, who is an insane operator, but without his 1.5, he isn't as useful anymore, so that's why I'm bringing him down quite a bit. Nook, it actually pains me to say this, but I'm gonna have to put her in D. She just serves no purpose. After her silent step got removed, she kept on receiving nerf after nerf. After her silent step got removed, nades were the only reason you would pick her, and the nades got nerfed, so there's no reason to pick her whatsoever. She's just vigil on attack, but worse, is how I can explain her. Mozzie, now, if he had the ACOG, he'd probably be high B, but without the ACOG, I'm going to put him low B, as he was a very good fragging operator. He would deny intel and gain intel at the same time, which was very, very overpowered when he first came out. Gridlock, a good flank watch operator, but her 3 armor is weighing her down quite a bit. She does have nades, so I'm going to put her probably mid B. I think that's fair enough. She has 2 very good guns. One is an LMG, but you wouldn't really want to use an LMG on a 3 armor because you would become a 0.5 speed then. Cade, I'm gonna put him low S. He is the only operator that can deny hatches, unless you use a Rooney in some certain ways, but you have to like mind the Rooney and like step off it at the right point, so it's very fiddly. So Cade is just going to be up there. The only reason he isn't higher is because you can't trick the thermite or ace charge off the wall, so that's why he isn't probably a top 3. Nomad, good guns, ACOG, better flank watch than Gridlock. I'm gonna put her high B. I think high B is fair for her. The ARX has kind of fallen off over the years. It has a low mag size, but it is not a bad gun by any means. So I'm gonna leave her there. Clash. This is a hard one. I'm probably gonna put her high D, as she is good in lower ranks. People like to ban her because they don't know how to counter her, and she's just a menace. But then if you just bring, say, a ram, and you can like ram her shield out of the way, and it's kind of like a fiddly thing, but it is a very good counter to her. Maverick, probably a really good gun. He has the ACOG. He's another hard breacher, but he doesn't open up big holes, and is a decent Thatcher alternative. So I'm gonna put him in B. I think that's fair enough. Maestro, if this tier list was maybe 2 months ago, he would have been around here. But now I think I'm going to put him over here. When he has 3 cams, since he got his 3 cams back, he has been much better. He can mind the entire bomb site, deny plants now, again, so he's very good. Alibi, I think Alibi has a good gun and a good kit, but ever since her removal of the 1.5, she's just been dropping lower and lower throughout the ranks. Her utility isn't the best. It's not that difficult to fall for. You might fall for it once and then move on. So that's why I'm going to put her in there. Lion, he is a good operator. He has a good LMG or AR. I'm not really too sure what would you classify it, with a 50 round mag, and he has flashes as well, which complement his kit nicely. So I'm going to put him probably high B. I think high B is fair for Lion. Finka, she's just not as good as she used to be. Ever since the downfall of LMGs, she just hasn't been up there anymore. Her spear is okay. Her healing isn't the best, to be honest. It can get you out of some sticky situations, but other than that, she doesn't have much use. Vigil, a very good roamer. Underrated. He has the KIA. And I remember on the test server, they gave him the 1.5 for a small amount of time, and it was the most overpowered thing ever. They had to remove it. If he had the 1.5 when it was still in the game, he would be one of the best operators. But unfortunately, he did not, so he is going to go in B. Dokkaebi, pretty clear. I think she is just better than Ace. Probably the second best attacker, if not the best. She has the DMR, which is a very, very good gun. She has the SMG-12. The only downside is she doesn't have a automatic primary, but that's fine. When you have the DMR, all you need is fast trigger finger, and she obviously has the ACOG and can hack the defender's cams as well. Sophia, people use her as an alternative to Ashe, but I just don't think she's as good as Ashe ever. Like, again, LMG meta with Finka and Amaru, she just hasn't been the same since the nerf of LMGs. So I think C is fair for her. Ella. Ella used to be S years and years ago, but now her traps, you can just see through them. Her gun isn't very good. The recoil is way too much on it. So I think bottom C is fair for her. Maybe below Alibi, I think. Ying, I think, is a top 5 attacker. Maybe there, I think, is fair for Ying. She has 4 Candelas and Smokes, which are probably one of the best kits in the game. Just simple, like, rush plant. And then if you have a Monty or even an Osa to support her, she is insane. Lesion, T5 SMG, very good. I think A is fair for him with the rework he got. Which I don't know if you would describe it as a buff. I would say it's a buff. So I think A is fair for him. Mira, I think she is just better than Deimos. She can also dictate the attacker's pick, like what operators they would pick. Like, if you are playing a Mira, you kind of have to bring an Ashe or at least a Twitch or even a Kali, but who does that? So again, with Azami, they do dictate the attacker's pick a lot. So I think up there in S is fair for her. Jackal. Oh, now Jackal is banned a lot, which I don't think he should be banned a lot, as his gun is good, his roam clearing abilities are good, but his main hard counter is Caveira, and Caveira, if you don't drone, can be very good. So I think A is fair for him. He should not be as banned as much as he is. I think Deimos is going to replace his ban spot in the new season. Abana, another hard breacher, very overpowered in Pro League at getting hatches, the best, most efficient at getting hatches. So I think mid A is fair for her. She has a good gun, brings a lot of utility to the team. She has flashes as well, and I think she's a 3-speed. I'm not too sure. I have to check that. Echo, he single-handedly crafted the utility meta. Well, maybe not single-handedly, but he was a big factor in the utility meta. But ever since then, I just don't. I think he got worse and worse. He lost his 1.5 and didn't get an ACOG, so that's why I'm putting him in low B, just below Maestro. 2 cam operators right there. Caveira, I think Caveira is underrated, but still not good. Her interrogations can change the outcome of a round. Completely change the course of a game even, but insanely situational. And she is good if you are noticing the attackers aren't droning a lot and you're like, oh, I'll go Caveira and rat in where they like to push. She is good at the start of the new season. For example, I played her quite a bit when Lair first came out, and I got a triple interrogation on Lair. But then after a few weeks, it was useless as people started to learn the map. Now, Capitão is very underrated. He brings a lot of utility, 2 smokes and 2 fires, and he has a decent gun, same as Brava, but I don't think he is utilized as much as he could be. He's a good plant support with, say, Ying, and works well with Osa, so I think mid B is fair for him. Valkyrie, I think Valkyrie is probably an S tier operator above Mira and Deimos. I think that's fair. She brings a crazy amount of intel to the team. Has an MPX, which is a pretty good gun. Some may say it's a P shooter, but I don't think really. She doesn't have the ACOG, which probably stops her from being the best operator in the game. But you can never go wrong with Valkyrie pick. Blackbeard, probably above Sense. Blackbeard can win you maybe 1 or 2 gunfights, maybe 1 a round if you're lucky that you didn't get a headshot, but other than that, his shield is made of paper and is pretty much useless. Frost ACOG is crazy underrated. People don't understand how good she is with the ACOG. Her traps, ever since the rework, I would consider it a nerf, as they can't self-revive, so it's not a kill, and you can't really bait another teammate to come in to revive with her anymore. So I think that's why she is low A. Extended barrel and ACOG on her gun. Mwah. Way too good. Book. One, probably, in my opinion, the best attacker in the game. Maybe you could debate between these three as the best attackers, but you can never go wrong with a Book pick. He is also a good solo queue operator next to Zero. Hard breaches and flashes, so you can have two types of playstyles there. He has lots of soft destruction, can play vertical from above the bomb site, but then also below the bomb site, which other vert ops like Sledge cannot do. And so yeah, I think Book is very clear up there. I would not be surprised if he's nerfed, but I don't think they will be. Sledge, he just keeps on getting worse and worse every season, but I think a mid B is fair for Sledge. He has the L85, which is a very good gun, and he has the ACOG now. And ever since Sledge's main gimmick was his nades in year 8, but ever since they got nerfed, he's probably dropped from an S tier operator to maybe, I'll put him high B. I'll be nice. Mute, very, very clear. He is definitely an S tier operator. The amount of intel he can deny drones, he can deny breaches, he can counter almost every attacker apart from Blackbeard, who plays Blackbeard. So, very clear there. His kit is insane. SMG-11 with the SAS shotgun and a nitro cell, unstoppable. Smoke is also very good. He is another, I would say, good solo queue operator. You can take two gunfights at once. Say you're fighting Top White and Trophy in Oregon. You can smoke off Trophy, and then you can swing Top White and kill Top White. So you're like isolating each gunfight, which is very, very good. Thatcher. I think Thatcher has a lot of alternatives like Cali, but Cali isn't very good, and Maverick. So I'm going to put Thatcher in high A. He has a very good gun, same as Sledge's. And he is very underrated as an kind of an entry operator. Say, there's Capcans, and someone with a one-time scope, because one-time scopes are going to be used a lot more, is around the door. If you throw a Thatcher EMP down, that will go off, and that will actually disable their scope for a short while. So it does give you the edge on a gunfight. Castle, I think, is also underrated. He can change up the way the attackers attack the map completely, and he can single-handedly set up site with his super shorty. The UMP isn't very good, but he does have the ACOG on it, which is its main redeeming factor. Ash, I think, is an S tier operator. With her ACOG back on R4C, it's pretty clear. She is probably the main counter to Mira and Azami, but Azami is nerfed now. So, yeah, Ash is always going to be at least an A tier operator. Pulse, I feel bad for this. I used to play a lot of Pulse, but he just got worse and worse over the seasons. He lost. The only good thing about his gun was the 1.5 on it, and he lost that now. So, if you want to use the UMP, just use Castle. It has the ACOG. So, it hurts my heart to say that, but Pulse is a C tier operator. Thermite, high A. He is in Pro League, if you bring a Thermite instead of an Ace, Ace was banned a surprising amount. Thermite is the second best, if not better. He has the ACOG, a good gun. He can open up massive holes. He isn't the best at getting hatches though, which is why he isn't as high as Ace. Doc. I think Doc is a mid A tier operator. He's very good at he's a very good anchor. He is a 3 speed with the he's a 3 armor, sorry, with the bailiff. So he can set up sight, make head holes and stuff like that. And so yeah, I think Doc, there isn't really much to say. He does have the ACOG now. So he is a very good anchor. Monty. Now I think Monty is probably high B, I think is fair. He's basically a human drone, but is pretty simple countered if he's isolated and there's two attackers or two defenders there. Not much to say about him. Rook, I think I'm gonna go mid B with the withstand update to his rook armor. I think that buffed him a lot more. Um, so yeah, I think not much to say about Rook, to be honest. So I think B is fair for Rook. Twitch, the Twitch downfall must be studied, but I still think she is a good operator. The F2 is a shadow of its former self. She still does have the ACOG, but it's probably useless unless you can have a insanely big mouse mat to control the recoil. Jaeger, this is very sad. I used to be a Jaeger main, but I am gonna have to put him. I'm gonna put him low B. I think low B is fair for him as he has just gotten nerfed and nerfed every single season. Everybody was excited to see if Jaeger got an ACOG. He didn't. That might change, but I don't think he will be used as much as Wamai. Wamai is just better in every way. Blitz, I think he is situational. He is very good at pushing isolated places like dirt on clubhouse basement. But other than that, he is a very situational operator. Pretty simple to counter. The new shield rework actually buffed him quite a bit, so just for the shield rework, I'm going to put him top of C. Bandit. I think Bandit is very underrated. He's going to go A. People just disregard Bandit because Cade is better in every way, but people forget he has the Nitro Cell with the MP7, and um, he can Bandit trick walls, which is also very good. IQ, one of the best top 5 guns on attack, the Commando, but you can just use drones. Drones do the same thing. I just don't really see a point in using IQ apart from her grenades anymore. Now, Tachanka, whoops. Tachanka, ever since his, that's not Tachanka, ever since the buff to his LMG, he has become much better, but his ability is still useless. So I am going to put him high D, I think, is fair for Tachanka. He can set up sight, he can two-shot some operators, so I think D is fair for him. Fuse, AK-12 is probably the only redeeming factor here. I'm going to put him low B. He is a good utility clearer, but he is a 3 armor and is very loud. He doesn't have a good secondary gadget. The breach charges, I don't think, complement his kit really well. There is no really good fuse strat, so you don't ever hear someone, I have the best fuse strat. So that's why he's going to be in B. Capcan, I think I'm going to put him in mid-A. I think mid-A is fair for Capcan. He is a good operator. He makes if the attackers are aware there is a Capcan, most of the time they will start droning more, or even bring an IQ. I do that occasionally with solo queue teammates. You know how they are. But anyway, I think Capcan is an A tier operator, and I think that is fair to say. Glaz. Glaz is F. He just has no redeeming qualities at all. The smokes, there is a good strat with Maverick on the smokes on Chalet Basement and Clubhouse and Canal. They're the only 3 sites you can really do it on, as you can repel. But other than that, I just don't think he is worth it at all. So, I want to thank you all for watching this video. It's one of my longest videos ever. If I could rank maps next, I could rank events next, I could do all sorts of rankings. So I want to thank you for getting this far, and if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. It supports me a ton, and goodbye.